Picture this. It's the late 18th century, and the world is on the brink of an unprecedented transformation. A new era is dawning, an era that will forever reshape the landscapes of our world and the lives of its inhabitants. This is the dawn of industrialization. The Industrial Revolution, beginning in Great Britain, marked a turning point in history. For centuries, societies across the globe had been predominantly agrarian, with the vast majority of the population living in rural areas and making their living from farming. But the advent of new manufacturing processes in the textile industry, followed by the development of steam power and the rise of the factory system, started to change all that. Key industries such as textiles, iron, and coal mining were the trailblazers in this new industrial world. They gave birth to the factory system, where workers and machines came together under one roof to produce goods on a scale never seen before. This was a major shift from the old ways, where production was typically carried out in small workshops or at home. As these industries thrived, they fueled economic development and attracted vast numbers of people. Rural laborers and farmers began to migrate towards the industrial towns and cities, drawn by the promise of employment and better living conditions. These burgeoning urban areas became buzzing hubs of activity, filled with factories, warehouses, and workers' housing. This was the beginning of a societal shift from rural to agrarian to industrial cities. The once tranquil landscapes were being replaced by the smoke and noise of industry, as the world began its transition into the urbanized industrial society we know today. Thus began a period of massive urbanization, forever changing the face of our world. As industries boomed, cities began to grow at an explosive rate. The transformation of rural landscapes into industrial cities was not a gradual or planned process, but rather a rapid and often chaotic one. It was driven by the promise of prosperity, the allure of opportunities, and the hope of a better life. Imagine the scene. Workers and their families, leaving behind their agrarian roots, embarked on a journey towards these burgeoning industrial cities. They were drawn to the promise of steady employment in factories, mines, and shipyards. These cities were not just places of work, but they became melting pots of culture, innovation, and commerce. These new urban dwellers, with their diverse skills and backgrounds, fueled the growth of these cities. They worked in factories, built infrastructure, and contributed to the economic vibrancy of these urban centers. The cities themselves became powerhouses of productivity, their skylines dominated by smokestacks and their streets buzzing with the clamor of commerce. But it wasn't just about work. These cities also became hubs of culture and society. Theaters, museums, and libraries sprouted alongside factories and warehouses. Newspapers and periodicals flourished, catering to a literate and increasingly educated population. The cities pulsed with energy, their growth seemingly unstoppable. Yet, as the cities grew, so did the complexity of managing them. The rapid urbanization brought on by the Industrial Revolution was not without its challenges. The cities swelled with people, leading to overcrowding. Infrastructure struggled to keep pace with the rapid growth, leading to squalid living conditions for many. Pollution from factories clouded the air, and waste management became a pressing concern. Industrial cities, once symbols of progress and prosperity, began to grapple with their own set of challenges. The story of the birth of industrial cities is not just a tale of economic growth and cultural development. It's also a story of resilience, of communities coming together to tackle the issues that arose along with their newfound prosperity. And it's a story that continues to unfold as we strive to make our cities better places to live, work, and thrive. With rapid urbanization came a host of problems, many of which still resonate today. As rural dwellers flocked to the cities hoping to partake in the prosperity promised by industrialization, they were met with a harsh reality. The sheer speed of urban growth outpaced the ability of cities to adequately provide for their swelling populations. Overcrowding became a significant problem, with multiple families often crammed into single-room dwellings. These cramped conditions fostered the spread of disease, and the lack of sanitation services only exacerbated the issue. Air and water pollution also surged with the rise of factories and industries. Smokestacks belched out thick clouds of soot, while rivers turned into dumping grounds for industrial waste. The quality of life in these bustling cities was compromised by the very industries that drew people to them. And then, there was the issue of poor living conditions. The rapid influx of people led to the creation of slums on the fringes of cities. These areas were characterized by substandard housing, inadequate access to clean water and sanitation, and a general lack of urban amenities. But, as the saying goes, necessity is the mother of invention. These problems catalyzed the birth of urban planning and the emergence of sustainability initiatives. Urban planners and architects started envisioning cities that were not only industrious but also livable. They sought to design cities with adequate housing, green spaces, and efficient transportation systems. Environmental sustainability also began to take center stage. Efforts were made to reduce pollution and promote the use of cleaner technologies. Cities started implementing waste management systems and investing in infrastructure to provide clean water to their citizens. These issues forced us to rethink our approach to urbanization and led to the evolution of modern urban planning. It's been a long and challenging journey, but it's also a testament to our ability to adapt and innovate in the face of adversity. As we continue to navigate the complexities of urbanization, it's essential that we learn from the past and strive for a future where industrial cities are not just centers of innovation and commerce, but also places where people can live healthy, fulfilling lives. As we move forward, the future of our cities hangs in the balance. Industrial cities, once the beating heart of innovation and commerce, now face a new set of challenges that require innovative solutions. Urban sprawl, the outward spread of cities into surrounding rural areas, has become a pressing issue. It leads to longer commutes, increased energy consumption, and a loss of valuable green spaces. Meanwhile, gentrification, the process of renovating and improving urban districts, often results in displacing lower-income residents. While it can breathe new life into neighborhoods, it often creates socioeconomic disparities that need addressing. In response to these challenges, the concept of sustainable infrastructure has gained traction. This approach considers the environmental, social, and economic aspects of development to create cities that are not just livable, but also resilient and equitable. It involves everything from energy-efficient buildings and waste management systems to sustainable transport and green spaces. And then we have the rise of smart cities. These are urban areas that leverage technology and data to improve the quality of life for their residents, enhance sustainability, and streamline urban services. Think sensors that monitor air quality, apps that optimize public transport routes, or digital platforms that foster civic engagement. Alongside these innovations, green initiatives are also taking center stage. From parks and green roofs to renewable energy projects and low-carbon transport, these efforts are crucial in mitigating climate change and enhancing the livability of our cities. The challenges are complex, and the road ahead is not easy. But with a mix of innovative thinking, technological advancement, and a commitment to sustainability and inclusivity, we can shape the future of our industrial cities for the better. The future of industrial cities lies in our hands, and the choices we make today will shape the urban landscapes of tomorrow. So, where does this leave us? Well, we've journeyed through time, from the dawn of industrialization to the birth and evolution of industrial cities. We've walked the bustling streets of these urban hubs and seen firsthand the transformative power of industry. From small, agrarian societies, we've witnessed the rise of sprawling metropolises, buzzing with innovation, commerce, and culture. But this journey wasn't without its bumps. As we learned, the rapid growth of industrial cities brought challenges as well as opportunities. Overcrowding, pollution, and poor living conditions emerged as pressing issues, prompting the need for urban planning and sustainability initiatives. In the face of these challenges, we've seen resilience and innovation. We've seen communities rally together, and city planners, architects, and policymakers work tirelessly to create more livable, equitable, and environmentally friendly urban spaces. From smart cities to green initiatives, we've glimpsed the future of our cities. And it's a future that holds promise. Understanding the impact of urbanization on the rise of industrial cities is more than just an exercise in history. It's about recognizing the patterns and trends that have shaped our societies and will continue to do so. It's about understanding the forces that drive change and how we can harness these forces for the betterment of our cities, our societies, and ultimately our world. But the work is far from over. As we look to the future, we have the opportunity to learn from the past and shape the future of our cities, whether it's tackling urban sprawl, promoting sustainable infrastructure, or addressing gentrification. It's up to us to continue the conversation and drive the action. With knowledge comes power, and understanding our past can help us shape a better future for our cities. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.